wonder, did you make this?
Feeling good, got some weed up in my wood, chasing dreams just like I should, letting go because I could.
Welcome back to another episode of JK Philly. Today we got Chicago Bulls Central with us. So basically just giving a quick overview. We've been getting with a bunch of NBA team fans, just talking about their season basically because Sixers are not in playoffs, so we really don't have too much to talk about in the offseason until Joel Embiid gets some type of surgery, which it looks like he's about to. But just starting off the show, if you just want to give a little bit of a background about yourself for, the viewers at home to see what you got going on.
Yeah, my name is Hayes. I'm host of Chicago Bulls Central, Chicago Bears Central, and Chicago Sky Central. So any Chicago sports team, basically, throw Central behind it, you'll find me. I've been podcasting for about almost 10 years now, but the Chicago Bulls Central, the sports, those are 4 years old, coming up on my 4-year anniversary of doing that. Just lifelong Bulls fan, Bears fan, born and raised, and wanted to do something to cover my teams, and now here I am.
For sure, that's awesome. Well, let's jump right into it. From the jump, immediately trading DeMar DeRozan in the offseason. And then, as you eventually get to that trade deadline and getting rid of Zach LaVine as well, you can kind of see from an outside perspective that, the Bulls kind of want to start centering around Kobe White and just seeing how that progresses. But can you tell me a little bit about like how you feel overall as a Bulls fan of them transitioning to the Bulls saying like, you're our guy now as Kobe White? And also, do you think it's going to be a mistake that they got rid of DeMar and LaVine, or you think their time is gone?
No, I mean, it was definitely the right time to move off of Zach and DeMar. I think that team, we have a team that's the average age is over 30, and you're fighting and scrapping for a play-in spot. Something has to change. I think that's what it comes down to for this Bulls team, is they're at a spot where something had to change. And so, you move off of that, you get considerably younger, you also change your play style, and then you finish with the same record that you had the year before. And why that's kind of more promising is that you've now gone from an average age of over 30 to now your average age is 24 and a half. So like you're now up and coming, right? And that's still with like Vooch, who's over 30 still on the roster. So that's going to bring our average age down a little bit more once we move on from him. So I think that build of the Chicago Bulls had just run its course, and they had maxed out what they could do with that without giving up more assets. And I think it was just time.
No, I agree. I was glad to finally see you guys move on from LaVine and DeRozan. I actually, when they first got all them guys together years ago, I thought them two and Vooch, I thought that was going to be a real nice core. Maybe not championship level, but, one of the top teams in the East. But, it ran its course. It was time to move on. And like you said, having a younger age and the same result, it goes from being, damn, we a bunch of 30-year-olds to the play-in to, hey, we a bunch of 24-year-olds in the play-in. So that's a great sign.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree. But, as we move on, throughout the year, there wasn't really anything that I was seeing on the transaction list. Of course, trading LaVine throughout the year. But I saw your most recent video where you were just talking about Vucevic as well and trying to move on from him throughout the season. But really what I want to ask is, do you think from, the current sample size of what is probably going to be your big three, White, Giddey from his performance this season, and possibly even the rookie Buzelis as well, what do you believe your team really needs to basically compete in the Eastern Conference for next year?
The main thing we need is more defense, right? I think that especially with us having a lottery pick this year, getting a defensive big that's switchable and a rim protector, that's huge, especially when you have Kobe and Josh Giddey as your backcourt. Like, they have their moments defensively, but if you have a big that can kind of deter people from the rim, because naturally they're gonna get some penetration with Kobe and Giddey out there on the perimeter, I think that's going to be really important for the team. So that's really what I'd focus on. I'm not really looking to like make any big free agent splashes or big trades right now. I think you want to get that center in the draft. You're getting Io back, who can be your perimeter defender as well. I think with those two acquisitions, like that can really help push the Bulls in a better place. And then in the summer of 26, that's when the Bulls will have, I think we only have like right now 6 players under contract next summer. So around this year, next time. So that's the time, if you've proven another season with your young core that you can take it a step further. Let's say you go from the 39 wins to 42, 43 wins. Then that's probably when you're starting looking like more of an attractive spot for some players.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys have the luxury of, we've been talking to a lot of bad teams this year that are smaller market teams, but being the Chicago Bulls, like you said, you show. I like your guys, younger players too. I see a lot of good role players on that team. I see White and Giddey complement each other well. You got a guy like White who wants to get a ton of shots up, and Giddey, a guy who is more than happy to get 10 assists a game. And yeah, I could see you guys making a. I'm not sure who's available or going to be available in 2 years, but I'd love to see a big name guy go to the Bulls. The league's better when the Bulls are a competitive top team.
That's a fact.
Before I really move into draft, and if you really got your eye on anybody coming out of the draft, determine on your place in it. Can you tell me a little bit about Buzelis? Because I saw a lot of him on the G League Ignite team, and I thought he was going to be really special. But of course, not being 100% fan of the Chicago Bulls, I wasn't really tapped into how he's been productive throughout the season. So what's your real opinion on him?
Buzelis, the sky's the limit for Buzelis. He, in his rookie year, has really shown more than any rookie we've had, probably since Jimmy. Well, no, Jimmy didn't even show a lot his rookie year, so probably since Derrick Rose, to be 100% honest with you. Like, the thing that Modest has to, that coming into this process with Modest, to me, was how effective can he be while he's making the shot more effective? Like, he, in G League Ignite, never really shot the ball overly efficiently. This season, he's flirted with being more efficient shooting-wise. And to me, I think a good base for him was, all right, how effective are you while you're still learning that NBA shot and still learning to be consistent with that shot? And he showed it right away. He's probably our best weak side defender. He led the team in blocks. His energy that he plays with, and then started towards the end of the season, you started seeing his ability to put the ball on the floor and take players off the dribble and even facilitate some. So I think Modest has a little bit of everything. It's just, all right, how much of those skills, which one of those skills can you make elite? How many of those can you make elite? And as we see that over the next couple of years, that's going to be the determining factor on just how good Modest Buzelis is.
Efficiency is something that comes with more game time. But like you said, you see a young guy out there doing all the small things. Like you said, there's always a place on my team for a good defender. And just being aggressive, and efficiency comes. You start knowing what shots you should be taking in what situations and stuff like that. But no, I like him a lot too.
Well, I know we kind of breezed through a lot of these questions, but it's all about your perspective of the team and stuff like that. So as we really wrap up drafting, I know there's this is a really good draft class. It definitely looks a lot better than the last 5 years or so. But who are you really looking at? Determine on your spot and where you're supposed to be. Like you said, a big. Is there any real people that you're looking at?
Absolutely. I think the Bulls right now, they have the 12th best odds. So unless they move up into the top 4 or a team leapfrogs them, they're going to pick around 12, right? And so I think there's a lot of positions that make sense. So the two things that I'm looking for is ideally a center, right? And then if not a center, can you find somebody, a power forward next to Modest Buzelis? Because I think right now Buzelis is probably best position is going to be small forward. So the players that I'm looking at so far are Asa Newell. I think that Asa Newell can be one of the best centers to come out this draft. And honestly, who he reminds me like is a former Bull. He has the same type of defensive upside as a Joakim Noah. I don't know if he's going to be the facilitator or the scorer that Joakim ended up being, but I think defensively, the ability to switch, protect the rim, rebound at a decent rate, right? Those are all things that really could thrive on this team, especially with the current makeup that we have. So Asa Newell's really high up on my board for the Chicago Bulls. Derek Queen is another one. Now, Queen doesn't necessarily have the defensive profile that I look for, but as just a big who's just aggressive and has the footwork and the advanced back to the basket moves, he's somebody I really am enticed for. Defensively, he's a solid on-ball defender, but that blocking and stuff like that, he doesn't really have a lot of. Amon Malawak is another one. His potential's through the roof. I don't know if he's going to get to the Bulls at 12, but his potential's through the roof. Right. And then a non-center would be Rasheer Fleming. I love Rasheer Fleming's game. I think that he has a little bit of everything as well. I think he could be really nice as a 4 next to Modest Buzelis or a small ball 5. I'm worried about him a little bit as a small ball 5, but he's drawing comparisons to like Bam Adebayo, and if that's like his ceiling, I'm cool with it. But those are the players that kind of right now have the interest for me the most, and after the lottery, we'll see how things shake out.
I'm glad you said Derek Queen. I'd love to see a guy like Derek Queen fall to y'all because, like you said, he got the offensive touch, good on ball, and when you see his athleticism and his footwork and stuff, he just looks like a guy. It's like, there's no way you can't become a good rim protector in this league. You have the athleticism and all that all the best rim protectors have.
Sure.
So I'd love to see him fall to you guys.
We'll see if it's in the cards, man.
Yeah, like we stated in the beginning, I wanted to keep it real short with you. Didn't want to waste too much time, but definitely appreciate you for coming on and sparing a little bit of time for us. For any anything that you got coming up for your channel or any other social medias that you want to go and shout out.
Absolutely, man. I mean, we're in off season now. In the off season, I kind of I'll be doing my player grades, and I'm daily. So I'm 1,417 straight days of dropping content on my channel. No breaks between that. So that's almost 4 straight years.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So I'm starting my draft process. We'll be doing draft profiles, things like that. But if you guys want to follow me, check me out at CEO Hayes. I also have a general NBA podcast that's called NBA Central as well. And I love talking ball, man.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely appreciate you for coming on. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you click all those links, and we'll talk to you guys on the next episode. Thank you guys for watching another episode of JK Philly. Make sure you stay tuned by subscribing to the channel.